Hi guys, welcome to Art Club 101. I'm happy to join you here today. We're going to be working on a watercolor rain cloud. So you'll notice that I wet my paper really good, just kind of brush some water over the whole thing. And now I'm making my blue that I'm going to be using. We're going to use varying shades of blue, but I'm starting kind of with a medium tone blue. I'm going to kind of do a line in the middle of the paper, and then I'm going to use my brush and kind of use slow kind of circular motions and puff that cloud up on top and then taper it out towards the edges. Let me get a little bit more of that blue. The goal is to make the cloud darker towards the bottom of the cloud and kind of puff it up and have various shades of colors, but really the bottom of the cloud needs to look more shadowy. And you'll notice that once it hits that wet paper, it kind of bleeds out, and that's exactly what we want it to do. That's going to make it kind of look light and fluffy. And you'll notice that I'm putting more of the darks down towards the bottom of the cloud, but kind of randomly place those colors, kind of dab your brush around. I'm also adding a little bit of blue and black together, and that's going to make kind of a dark gray color that I'm going to put towards the bottom of the cloud. And like I said, that's going to be my shadow area. So light and fluffy, that's what we're doing at this point in time. Next, I'm going to make a darker shade of blue that's going to be the sky color. I'm going to outline the outside part of my cloud, but you'll notice that I'm leaving a good wide section of the paper that's going to shine through, and that's going to be the white kind of silver lining on that cloud. So go out just a bit and kind of shape the cloud, but leave some of that paper so that you have that white outline on the outside, and then get some more of that darker color of blue and start filling in the rest of your paper. The paper is still wet at this point, so the blue will basically bleed out. It doesn't have to be perfect. You do kind of want to do this part fast so that it will kind of, be similar colors, although if you have some variations, it will look like there's clouds in the background, and that's what the sky really looks like in real life, so that's okay to have those variations. So I'm going to continue kind of filling in that space with that blue color. And once you get done with that, you kind of want your paper to dry for a bit. If you're more of a beginning artist, you may be totally happy with your cloud at this point and you can just leave it to dry, and that is fine. But if you want to work it some more, we're going to move on to the next section. Now that it's dry, we're going to come in with that darker blue again. We're going to outline the outside part of the cloud, again leaving that white silvery lining on the outside of the cloud. We're just going to darken up our sky just a bit, just to give it a little more contrast, that transition between the light and the darks. We really want that cloud to pop. And so I put that darker shade of blue, and then I'm coming in with a clean brush and I'm kind of blending and bleeding the edges of the cloud so that it'll be a little softer, not quite so harsh. And then you can also use a clean brush that is more dry to wipe away some of the paint and help shape that cloud the way you want it. Then I'm going to come in with some more of the blue, and I'm going to fill in the rest of the sky just like what we did before. We're just adding a little more layer of blue to make it darker, and we're going to fill in the rest of the paper. This is really going to make our cloud stand out and be really nice. Once our cloud has dried a little bit after we do this, we're going to add some more details to our cloud. I want to make it a rain cloud. I guess I kind of think of like Winnie the Pooh when he talks about the little rain cloud that he finds. So we're going to make this a rain cloud. So we're going to add a little bit more detail to the cloud. So next I'm going to be adding some squiggly lines onto our cloud, and you'll see what I'm doing here in a minute. I'm going to add some squiggly lines of blue. They're not going to bleed out this time because our paper is not as wet. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm adding a little bit of white on the edges here, and that's going to bleed out into the paper. And I'm making the white really strong. So the white watercolor that I use, I'm really using very little water and more white. And I'm coming in where I want the cloud to be whiter, to kind of stand out. You're wanting various shades of whites and blues and grays, and of course those darker shades need to be near the bottom as well so that the cloud looks like there's shadows underneath it. So that's a nice way to kind of bring in some more light if you lost too much light with your white. Now is the time when I'm coming in with the blue, and you may be thinking, oh my gosh, she is ruining her painting, and you might think that at this point in time too. But what you do is you add this darker color, and then you rinse the brush and you come around the outside parts of the darker color with water, and it bleeds into the rest of your cloud. But you don't want to completely blend it. You want it to still kind of stand out, but you want to blend those edges just a little bit. So you clean your brush, use a little bit of water, come around the outside lines of the what you made before, and then it bleeds into the paper and makes it a little less harsh. I'm also coming in with those darker shades of gray, which is made with black and a lot of water. And I'm adding that underneath the cloud, and that's going to make it look like it's more of a rain cloud, like it's heavy and shadowy, and it's there, there's some rain coming. It's like, there's rain coming. So alternating between the blues and the dark gray and kind of blending it out with that rinsed brush. And then we're gonna, here pretty soon, I'm gonna show you how to add in the rain. But after you do the blues and the grays, again, rinse your brush, come in with that nice strong white paint that's less water and more of the white paint on it. And you can add some little highlights of white here and there where that sun is kind of maybe hitting into that rain cloud. I really love when I see a rain cloud up in the sky, and that there's sunshine, but you can still see the rain falling from the clouds. So that's kind of the idea behind this. All right, rain. Here we go with a flat white brush. I'm adding a little bit of that dark grayish black to my brush, and then I'm pulling it down from the bottom of the cloud and then watering it down just a bit and going in a straight line at a diagonal angle. And what that does is that makes it look like the rain's falling. It looks like it's a cloud that's far away. I'm just pulling it down, and it's looking like that rain is falling down through onto whatever it is falling. So there is our little rain cloud. I hope you enjoyed making a rain cloud with me today. Hopefully you'll make some random clouds, make different shapes, sizes, maybe try some different colors than what I'm using here. But it's just a nice way to add in the fluffiness of the clouds by using the water. Last but not least, I'm adding a little bit more gray to my smaller brush and adding some more diagonal lines going the same direction. They're parallel to each other, adding them down, kind of randomizing them, but they're all going in the same direction, and that's going to make it look like it's raining. So yeah, hope you guys had fun today, and join us at Art Club 101 again for our drawing, painting. We have pastel, and there's several different types of things that we do here. Oh yeah, there's the highlights again, coming in with the highlights with the white, shaping up that cloud whatever way I like it. Now if you're finding with your watercolor that it's blending too much, wait till it dries more and then use the paint without so much water in it, and it's not going to blend in so easily. So just keep working it until you feel happy with the way your cloud looks. If you don't like the way your cloud's looking, or you're nervous about trying to make your own cloud, go ahead and look at, print off a page off of the internet with some pretty clouds that you've seen, or, take some pictures of clouds with your phone and you can print those off and go off of that for reference. Or even better yet, go outside and try to look at the actual clouds and see the formations and the light.